ED versus Mamata Banerjee battle reaches the Supreme Court after Calcutta High Court defers hearing in IPAC case. Multiple suspected Pakistani drones spotted along the border in Jammu and Kashmir. Security forces on high alert. As Iran protests enter a third week, Trump says Iran wants to negotiate even as US weighs military action. Our top story, caught in the eye of a double storm, TVK chief Vijay has reached CBI headquarters. He's currently being grilled by the agency. CNN News 18 has accessed details of the line of questioning. This is focusing on Vijay's delayed arrival at his rally venue or program venue and issues related to overcrowding and congestion at the spot. CBI has countered DMK charge, sources within the agency saying that in case of a charge sheet that is filed, it will be filed in Tamil Nadu. Meanwhile, the makers of Jan Nayagan have moved Supreme Court now as the movie's release has been delayed.
Turned politician and TVK chief Vijay is appearing before the CBI. How does the DMK see the entire development? TVK wanted an independent probe. Now the chief has been summoned. How do you see this entire development panning out?
That is their own choice. What can we do? If the state police had investigated the case, they wanted CBI to do it so that he can be saved by the BJP. As far as Karur incident is, that I accuse only Vijay. He came at 7:30 in the scorching sun and without food and water. People were made to wait. The huge crowd was made to wait.
Do you see this as Vijay versus center, or do you how do you read this politically?
It is not the center. It is the BJP. It is not the government. It is the party, political party, BJP. They are at anything to gain make some gain in the electoral politics.
Let's show you a little bit of what we are picking up as far as CBI's questions for Vijay are concerned. First up, of course, is the sequence of events leading to the stampede itself. So what, according to you, was the sequence of event is something that the CBI is posing to Vijay. Were you aware of the congested venue and number of people expected? Because this is crucial. If he continued to go on with the program despite knowing the fact that there could have been a fatal congestion at the spot, then there would be some culpability at the end of the actor Vijay. Why was there a delay in reaching the venue? Remember, his political opponents have also questioned that he arrived so late by the time crowds had swelled up, and therefore that led to both the impatience on the ground and the swelling of the crowd. Questions are also likely on the line that were you aware when announcement was made about the missing child? Because there is allegation that Vijay continued to go on with his program despite the fact that there was chaos breaking around him. Were you aware of the police lathi charge to control the crowd? And why did you leave the venue after the tragedy? These are all important questions that Vijay has to answer. Let me also go across to my colleague Purnima Murli, who is joining us live from Chennai. Arunima and Purnima both are joining us on the show. Purnima, tell us a little bit more if you're learning anything of what the possible answers of Vijay could be. You know, his party has already been on record to an extent of what had transpired. The functionaries are in the dock. But what is Vijay likely to tell as far as his version is concerned?
Well, TVK sources and leaders who have spoken on the record after the tragedy have time and again said that they were not aware of the tragedy unfolding. Whenever Vijay spoke and they came to know that a child went missing, Vijay had announced, but then they cut it short because it was almost 7 p.m. and they had to leave the venue. And even after they came to know about the tragedy, they wanted to go. They in fact were waiting for police officials, but police had told them not to go back and visit Karur because of the fragile and volatile situation, and said that it will only make it worse. So they were told by the police not to go back to Karur, is the version given by the TVK so far. And they said that Vijay did not know of the consequences or the sequences that led to the Karur stampede. They did not know that they did not know about this. Only when they left Karur did they learn of the Karur stampede, is what the TVK sources so far have said. And they have alleged that there's conspiracy as far as the Karur tragedy is concerned. But whether they will be able to provide evidence to justify their statement, we'll only have to wait and see. But all eyes on the developments that are taking place in the national capital today.
Speaking of that, Arunima is keeping a track of that. Arunima, we've brought to our viewers a basic sense of the questions that are likely for Vijay, and they all, of course, stem from what happened that day. What is it that the CBI is really looking for? Is it whether at the highest level, which is Vijay, was there an awareness that things were not okay on the ground and there was an insistence to go ahead with the program nevertheless?
So the CBI's essential probe is focused on, is there a case of criminal negligence that is made out? Was this just an unfortunate incident that had happened, or were there lapses either on part of the district administration or on part of Vijay's own party, the organizers, that led to this kind of a situation? What was the crowd control measure in place? Why was this venue selected? Were they aware that the venue and the crowd that ultimately turned up were at a mismatch, that they could not handle so many people? The fact that Vijay himself came to the venue after so much of delay, and that waiting period in this heat made the crowd restless. Some of them fainted. He himself announced that a child was missing. So why was this delay? Was he just being lax and not taking into account the situation on the ground, or was the police and the administration not keeping him well informed enough? So those are two basic trajectories based on which the IAO is trying to find some kind of a legal ground to see whether a case of criminal negligence is made out or not.
Right. We'll keep coming back to you for more interesting times for Thalapathy Vijay, because at one end he's in the dock for what happened in Karur to a certain extent, and then there's a separate battle, a real battle going on for his movie as well. We'll keep a very close watch on these developments. The other big drama that's playing out, and that is between the ED and Mamata Banerjee Bengal government. After IPAC raids, 3 ED officials have now filed a petition in the Supreme Court against the West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee and the DGP of the state. The plea is alleging obstruction during their search, and some of it was visible on ground as well. The plea is further asking that there should be a withdrawal of the FIRs that have been filed against these officials by the West Bengal police. The ED officers seeking protection for any kind of action against them by the West Bengal police from the Supreme Court. So more battle as far as the legal battle in this case is concerned. Remember, ED has already gone to court, Mamata Banerjee has gone to court, but now specific ED officers against whom West Bengal police has filed FIRs have also gone to court. They're accusing the CM and the DGP and with that the police of West Bengal of obstructing the raids during the day and seeking a withdrawal of the FIRs that have been filed against them. This is all in the aftermath of the raids that have been carried out by the ED in the coal scam case, the West Bengal coal scam case, and their office and the residence of their co-founder was raided last week. But as you can see in those visuals, Mamata Banerjee herself descended upon the venue. She went in along with other CMO officials and police, West Bengal police. It is alleged by the ED that they took out certain files and electronic evidences that would have been part of the evidences that the ED was looking for. So there is, of course, a case of obstruction against Mamata Banerjee and against the West Bengal police as well. My colleague Ananya is joining us with more. Ananya, 3 ED officials now filing a separate plea?
Well, absolutely. 2 petitions filed by the Enforcement Directorate, one as an organization, and then 3 officers of the Enforcement Directorate also knocking the Supreme Court, clearly saying that, Mamata Banerjee and the DGP of Kolkata are actually obstructing the kind of searches that were conducted by, in fact, the Enforcement Directorate. Not only that, the big charge, Shivani, that comes in from the Enforcement Directorate is that the whole system has been taken to taken to task by in fact Mamata Banerjee and the DGP there in collision with each other. In fact, the Calcutta High Court was also something where proceedings were hijacked by TMC supporters, is what the big allegation from in fact the Calcutta High Court is concerned. So what is very, very crucial to notice is how will the Supreme Court actually view all of this, because it was a kind of a attack to subserve the proceedings of a court, and that is on this how will the Supreme Court will be reacting is something that would be very, very interesting to see.
Kamalika Sengupta is also joining us with more on this. Kamalika, one more plea against the Chief Minister and the Bengal Police, and this time by specific ED officials against whom FIRs have been filed in the state of West Bengal.
Yes, absolutely. So this is once again that state agency versus central agency, and not only that, as Ananya was pointing out, the mention that the ED has made, that is a very strong point of putting none other than the Chief Minister, the DGP, the CP of Kolkata in this petition. So this is something very, very, very significant. On the other hand, in Bengal also, the cases that has been filed against the ED, there are two cases we know. One is Sugamoto case that has been filed by the police, another is filed by none other than Mamata Banerjee. The case is filed by none other than Mamata Banerjee. That means Mamata Banerjee wants to take a head-on with ED. On the other hand, the way the ED has filed his petitions and has named the Chief Minister herself along with the police chief of the state and police chief of Calcutta, this is quite clear that they also want to go on a head-on on this case, and they are saying that this is absolutely illegal. They can't storm into a raid which is going on. They might be holding on very important positions, but that does not give them the liberty to go and storm into an investigation and raid. That is the question that has been put forward by the ED. On the other hand, politically, Trinamool Congress is totally in this, they're trying to create an atmosphere that they are the victim, they are the party which opposes BJP. That is the reason for which ED has been sent, and they are trying to play this victim card. We'll really have to see that how this entire drama works out in the court, because even in High Court, we have seen in Calcutta, there was huge crowd and there was chaos for which the judge had to left the bench. So we'll have to really see how Supreme Court takes up the matter, because it has to do with definitely the legalities, the constitutional aspects, and definitely this deals with none other than the Chief Minister of a state.
We'll leave it at that. I do thank both of my colleagues for joining us. But there is another political firestorm that has erupted in Maharashtra ahead of BMC elections. MNS chief Raj Thackeray has taken a jibe at BJP leader K Annamalai, calling him a Rasmalai from Tamil Nadu. Annamalai has hit back, calling it an insult to all Tamilians and South India, and that he's not scared to come to Mumbai. BJP has also went out all guns blazing against MNS and India alliance, calling the remarks hateful and obnoxious. The controversy stems from Annamalai's campaign speech, where he pitched for a triple-engine government for Mumbai and said that Mumbai is not just a Maharashtrian city, but an international city.
People want a triple-engine government. If you look at Chennai, it is DMK at the top, BJP. Bangalore, Congress, BJP. Hyderabad, Congress, BJP. Here we are looking at the only city in our country where a triple-engine Sarkar is possible. Modi ji at the center, Devendra Fadnavis at the state, and the BJP mayor and BMC. Because Bombay is not a Maharashtra city, it is an international city. And this city has got a budget of 75,000 crore, not a small money. Chennai's budget is 8,000 crore. Bangalore is 19,000 crore. You need good people sitting in the administration to manage the finance.
काल परवाकडे कोणतरी एक तामिळनाडूमधून रसमलाई आली होती. तो सांगतो मुंबईचा आणि म्हणजे महाराष्ट्राचा संबंध काय? भडव्या तुझाच काय संबंध आहे इथे याचा? यांच्यासाठीच माननीय बाळासाहेब बोलले होते, हटाव लुंगी आणि बजाव पुंगी. आता अनेक दाक्षिणात्य इथे राहतात.
பத்தினி அவமானப்படுத்துறது எனக்கு ஒன்றும் புதுசு இல்லை. தமிழ்நாட்டில் டிஎம்கே அதைத்தான் காலங்காலமாக செய்கிறாங்க. ஆனால் தமிழர்களையே அவமானப்படுத்துகிறாங்க. இந்த லுங்கி கட்டினவனுங்க, வேட்டி கட்டினவனுங்க, இவனுங்கெல்லாம் இப்படி, இவனுங்கெல்லாம் அப்படி. அதே கூட்டணியில் திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகம் இங்கே இருக்கிறாங்க. இதுதான் ஆச்சரியம்.
Yesha, my colleague, is also joining us. Yesha, it's all heating up, isn't it? You've seen, of course, Annamalai as the BJP top leader go across many states to campaign outside of Tamil Nadu. But here in Maharashtra, once again, that, you know, that divide, that Marathi Manus versus everybody else is being played by the MNS chief. And the language being used by him is certainly going to be questionable.
Absolutely. In fact, that's a rhetoric that we've seen play out in BMC elections when it comes to the whole Marathi Manus versus the North Indians, and now it's Marathi Manus versus South Indians as well.
Indians, yes.
However, you know, when we speak of this, in the statement that Raj Thackeray really made, of course, he's gone ahead to attack Annamalai, but in the same statement, he's also gone ahead to state that if this is how the BMC is ruled, we'll also there'll be no difference between Maharashtra and Jharkhand taking another jibe at North Indians. Now, of course, you know, the whole batenge to katenge narrative is something that we've seen play out in both the elections before this as well, and so is the case now in the BMC elections. When you speak of this very statement from Raj Thackeray, it was the first time that both the Thackeray cousins had come together on the stage at Shivaji Park 20 years later. In fact, we know that Shivaji Park is known to be the place where most of the bigger events of Shiv Sena play out, and which is where, considering the fact that both the Thackeray cousins had come together on the same platform after 20 years, this very jibe by Raj Thackeray comes in, and he went ahead to question, stating that those who have nothing to do with the state of Maharashtra, why is it that they were campaigning in the state when they don't understand the difference between Mumbai and Maharashtra? So here, clearly this very statement coming in with foul language being used by Raj Thackeray, something that's not really gone well with the leaders from Mahayuti. Yes.
Okay. Obviously, the BJP will oppose, but this is precisely why possibly the Congress didn't align with the brothers, because they feared that MNS politics is going to make it harder for them nationally. And it's going to be interesting to watch out for the results of these BMC elections. Let's listen to some more reactions coming in from across political lines.
राज ठाकरे, उद्धव ठाकरे जो आज इंडी अलायंस के साथ भी है, वो कहते हैं कि अन्नामलाई रसमलाई है। मतलब कि तमिलनाडु से आने वाले एक व्यक्ति का इस प्रकार से मखौल और मजाक उड़ाते हैं, ओबीसी समाज का मजाक उड़ाते हैं, और केवल यही नहीं, पूरे दक्षिण भारत के लोगों का भी मखौल उड़ाते हुए, उनके प्रति हिंसा भड़काते हुए लुंगी इस प्रकार के शब्दों का इस्तेमाल भी करते हैं। ये उनकी मानसिकता को दिखाता है। जो इंडी अलायंस में उद्धव जी के साथ है और उद्धव जी राज ठाकरे के साथ है, ऐसे इंडिया अलायंस के नेता, डीएमके के नेता क्या स्टैंड लेंगे? लेफ्ट के नेता क्या स्टैंड लेंगे इस बयान पर? चुप है, उनके मुंह पर गोंद लगी हुई है, वो कुछ नहीं बोलेंगे।
Another issue that's being spoken about is the Thackerays versus Annamalai. Annamalai said Mumbai is a global city, and the Thackerays had hit out at Annamalai, and they also made a reference to lungi, and Annamalai says it's not an insult to Annamalai, but it's an insult to the people of Tamil Nadu.
No, he might have mentioned only Annamalai. Annamalai is a lungi man, a Tamilian. Maybe that is what Thackeray might have mentioned. But how can Annamalai say that Mumbai is part of Maharashtra, is the capital of Maharashtra? How can he say that it is a global city, it has no connection with Maharashtra?
Lungi reference, don't you think it's an insult to the entire...
No. Because it is for Annamalai's statement that Thackeray had made this remark. So it is not for against Tamilians.
US Ambassador to India Sergio Gor has assumed charge in New Delhi earlier today and said that India and US continue to actively engage on trade issues, with the next set of trade talks to be held as early as tomorrow. Now, speaking after taking charge, Gor said that real friends can disagree, but they always resolve their differences in context of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Donald Trump's relationship and friendship. In a major announcement, he revealed that India will be invited next month to join Pax Silica as a full member, a move aimed at boosting cooperation on critical minerals and strengthening strategic supply chains between two democracies.
I've traveled all over the world with President Trump, and I can attest that his friendship with Prime Minister Modi is real. The United States and India are bound not just by shared interest, but by a relationship anchored at the highest levels. Real friends can disagree, but always resolve their differences in the end. Last week, our great Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, powerfully stated that this year will be a year of reciprocity. We are raising the standard for diplomacy itself. That means fair trade, mutual respect, and shared security. Both sides continue to actively engage. In fact, the next call on trade will occur tomorrow. Remember, India is the world's largest nation, so it's not an easy task to get this across the finish line, but we are determined to get there. And while trade is very important for our relationship, we will continue to work closely together on other very important areas, such as security, counterterrorism, energy, technology, education, and health. I also want to share with you today a new initiative that the United States launched just last month, called Pax Silica. Pax Silica is a US-led strategic initiative to build a secure, prosperous, and innovation-driven silicon supply chain, from critical minerals and energy inputs to advanced manufacturing, semiconductors, AI development, and logistics. Nations that joined last month include Japan, South Korea, the United Kingdom, and Israel. Today, I'm pleased to announce that India will be invited to join this group of nations as a full member next month. As the world adopts new technology, it is essential that India and the United States work hand in hand from the very start of this initiative. No partner is more essential than India.
All the right notes made by Sergio Gor as he takes charge in India. No partner more important than India. And of course, that friendship that he talks about between the two leaders of the two countries. But what is Pax Silica and why is this an important initiative? And why is India's invitation very important? This is first of all a US-led strategic initiative. It aims to build secure, prosperous, innovation-driven silicon supply chains. Critical minerals, energy inputs are part of the initiative. Advanced manufacturing, semicon, AI infra are all part of this initiative. It aims to reduce coercive dependencies. Of course, this can be seen as aimed at the dependency from China. Protect materials and capabilities that are foundational to AI because, of course, all countries believe this is the future. Also ensure that aligned nations can develop, deploy transformative tech together. Partners to remain, it really is a partnership to remain competitive and prosperous, and it is bringing together many countries from around the world, US leading the initiative, and also India will be invited to be a full member as well. Important developments there. My colleague Siddhant Mishra is also joining us. Siddhant, first of all the right notes being made by Sergio Gor. This is a very testing time for India-US relationship, and we see all kinds of statements being made at different levels that send very different signals. But Sergio Gor sending all the right signals today.
Well, that's right, Shivani. In fact, as we were discussing before, that Sergio Gor is a very, very important person in President Trump's kitchen cabinet. In fact, he has been associated with President Trump since his first term. In second term also, after his inauguration, President Trump's inauguration, President gave him the responsibility to pick the best talent and skill to run his administration. So he was made the director of the personnel department. Now this is the second responsibility which he has been given by President Trump, not only to be the ambassador in India, but also a special envoy of the President of United States for Southeast Asia. So his words are really encouraging, and his proximity with President Trump, he is someone who has President Trump on speed dial, and in fact not once, several times he did speak about his closeness with President Trump. And perhaps this is the reason, Shivani, that never before this has happened where on the first day of his office, ambassador is addressing the media in New Delhi, and not only addressing the media but making two key announcements. One, that India will be invited to join Pax Silica India will become the 9th member of Pax Silica, and also that tomorrow there's going to be the first call on India-US trade talks. So it definitely shows the clout of Ambassador-designate Sergio Gor in Trump administration. In fact, he also said that last night he spoke to President Trump, and President Trump extended warm wishes to people of India and his friend, Prime Minister Modi.
All right. Siddhant, thanks a lot for joining us with more. Time for a very short break, but stay with us. News and updates continue on CNN News 18 in just a bit.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
The claim and the charges that the DMK is levelling on their behalf on the BJP. As per sources, we are learning, and this is from within the agency, and this is the information that our colleague Arunama has got for us. We are learning that in case a charge sheet is filed, it is going to be not in Delhi, it is going to be in Tamil Nadu. Arunama with those details. Yes, Arunama.
So, if you see the charge that is coming in from the DMK, Purnima also just highlighted this. Political charge being made by DMK that CBI's entire action is not driven by jurisprudence. It is a politically driven action. Central Bureau of Investigation is countering that. They're saying that, we've been asked to probe this case and come to a conclusion because justice must be done to those who died in the stampede. And therefore, this entire matter is being dealt with by the CBI headquarters. It has an all-India jurisdiction. Central Bureau of Investigation can probe any case, especially when courts are involved, and when courts hand over matters to CBI, they are not limited to any particular area or any particular state. They have an all-India jurisdiction. Now, as far as the other question of harassment and intimidation, that why are senior functionaries of the party, including Vijay, being called to Delhi? Is it an intimidating tactics? Will this mean that even at the stage of trial, witnesses will be asked to come and depose here in Delhi? CBI says that that is not how the agency functions. A call will be taken by the investigating officer after the questioning is over, after the entire evidence gathering process is over. If they decide to file a charge sheet, it will be filed in the state of Tamil Nadu and not in Delhi. So this charge that this is meant to harass witnesses by holding the trial here in Delhi, that is being negated by CBI completely.
Right, and Purnima, they are in fact putting two things together. That is, one is the CBI questioning Vijay on the Karur stampede, and the other one, of course, is his film, Jaranayagam, not being granted a censor certificate yet. The Madras High Court seems to have accommodated that plea by the CBFC, and that has led to that further delay of the film's release. And this is what the DMK seems to be alleging, that both ways it seems to be a double whammy for Vijay, an arm twisting exercise so that he goes ahead and comes into the NDA fold. But so far, TVK is not really signing up for it. At least they are staying mum. There was also a phone call that Vijay has had with Rahul Gandhi. Which way do you think this is headed?
It's quite interesting. I mean, you'll have to be a political analyst in Tamil Nadu to see how Vijay is going to influence the elections there, because it is quite an interesting situation currently. But as far as CBI's probe against Vijay is concerned, he did have the option, and this is an option available to anyone. When the first summon is sent to you, you do have the option, if you are busy, to seek another date and say that, I am preoccupied, so I can come at a later date. But agency officials are quite appreciative of the fact that Vijay has chosen to appear. Once he received the summons, he reverted, saying that he will appear on the date that he's being asked to. And any moment now, Vijay should be here at the CBI headquarters. We were expecting him around 11:15. So any moment now, he will appear. So as far as, Vijay and and DMK and Congress and BJP are concerned, there are multiple players. DMK is calling this intimidation. Vijay himself has decided to appear. The only thing is, I think his request for a lawyer to be present when his statement is recorded, that I think may not be appreciated by CBI, because the SOP is very clear. It is between the IO and the witness. In this case, Vijay's statement is being taken as a witness at this stage. So that is the only thing that we have learned as far as Vijay's request to CBI is concerned. Other than that, I think it is the season of politics, elections around the corner in Tamil Nadu, and this particular issue, Vijay's own presence and the Karur stampede case, along with the release of the film, all of these are emerging as X factors in the upcoming Tamil Nadu polls.
Absolutely. And Purnima also continues to be with us on the broadcast. Purnima, you have been extensively covering that entire case of Vijay's film Jananayagam while Madras High Court was looking at it. There was a temporary reprieve that was granted to Team Vijay. They had already started celebrating, but that did not last. And that was the only shelf life that we're looking at when they were looking at those celebrations. What is TVK really saying about these accusations that have been leveled against the BJP, an arm twisting exercise for Vijay to join in the NDA fold? Have they really made any feelers? Which way will they headed? Are they going to go solo? Is it the Congress, the BJP? What really is happening as far as TVK is concerned?
Well, sources from the TVK we spoke to are very careful when it comes to TVK and its alliance strategies, because remember, the Congress too, many leaders from the Tamil Nadu Congress had in fact backed Vijay, both in terms of Jananayagan and also in terms of the TVK. They said that sharing of power is important when it comes to alliances. A jibe at the DMK, because they said seat sharing alone would not be enough. There should be sharing of power too. That's something that many voices from the Congress had started talking about lately. And this at a time when there were reports about TVK Congress possible alliance discussions. Sources from the TVK we spoke to have time and again maintained that anybody who accepts Vijay as the chief ministerial candidate can join hands with the TVK. But remember, BJP, AIADMK alliance on the one side is also strong. Edapadi is the CM candidate for the NDA, or at least that's what it looks like at the moment, and it's going to be the AIADMK that's going to spearhead the NDA front. So that possibility may not happen, because Vijay also has chief ministerial ambitions and Edapadi Palanisamy also has chief ministerial ambitions. So therefore, TVK joining hands with the BJP and the AIADMK look unlikely, because they are very keen that Vijay should be the CM face of the front and it should be the TVK that's spearheading the front. But permutations and combinations continue to do the rounds, and the arithmetic, alliance arithmetic is being worked out right now. We'll have to wait and see whether TVK will be able to bring smaller parties on board. Whether that will happen in the next 2 weeks, there will be more clarity. But both the BJP and the Congress being options that the TVK would possibly explore, because they say anybody who wants Vijay as the CM face or accepts him are open to join the alliance. But that unlikely is not is impossible. At least at the moment, it looks like Congress and DMK will go together and ADMK BJP will go together. So at the moment,
Hello and welcome to Simply South. I'm Harish Upadhyaya. Time to look at all the major stories emerging from South India, and we begin with Karnataka. In the continuation of the power tussle that's ongoing in the state of Karnataka, you have DK Shivakumar, who's now made a fresh statement. The Deputy Chief Minister has now come out and said that he was stabbed from both front and back. Speaking at a Wakaliga Community Entrepreneurs event on Sunday, the veteran leader's remark appeared to be a direct volley at his detractors within the Congress-led government and his rivals in the JDS, making a sharp escalation in the rhetoric surrounding the state's ongoing leadership tussle. Following this, party president Mallikarjun Kharge has said that two leaders, that Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar, will be called to Delhi if there is a requirement.
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಡ್ಯೂಟಿಯನ್ನ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆತ್ಮವಿಶ್ವಾಸದಿಂದ ನೀವು ದುಡಿರಿ. ನಾನು ಹುಲ್ಲು ಅನ್ಕೋಬೇಡ, ನಾನು ಗೊಬ್ಬರ ಅನ್ಕೊಳಕ್ ಬೇಡ, ನಾನು ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಮಗ ದೊಡ್ಡವ್ರ ಮಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಣ್ಣ ಸಣ್ಣ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ಇವತ್ತು ಎಷ್ಟೆಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡವ್ರು ಬೆಳೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನನ್ನ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ನಮ್ಮಪ್ಪ ಏನು ದೊಡ್ಡ ರಾಜಕಾರಣಿ ಎಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮಪ್ಪ ಚೀಫ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮಪ್ಪ ಪ್ರೈಮ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್. ಒಂದು ನಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮಪ್ಪ ತಾಲೂಕು ಬೋರ್ಡು, ನಮ್ಮ ತಾತ ತಾಲೂಕು ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಮೆಂಬರು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ನಮ್ಮ ಊರಲ್ಲಿ ಪಂಚಾಯತಿ ಚೇರ್ಮನ್. ನಾವು ಏನೋ ಶ್ರಮ ಪಟ್ಟದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗಂಟೆ ಬಂದು 7 ಸತಿ ಬಂದು ಆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಇವ್ರ ಮುಂದೆಲ್ಲ ರಾಜಕಾರಣ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಇವಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಹೊಡೆದು ಏಟು ತಿಂದು ಮಾಡಿ ತಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗಂಟೆ ಬಂದು ಕೂತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಯವರು ನನಗೆ ಹತ್ಕೊಂಡು ವಿಶ್ವಾಸ ಇದೆ.
In fact, speaking at the same event, the Deputy Chief Minister also went on to say that he's confident that the party high command will take care of his future. The Deputy Chief Minister, remember, has been talking about his sacrifices in this event that specifically had entrepreneurs from across the Vakaliga community. He spoke about how people within the government had stabbed him. People close to him had stabbed him from the front and the back. He also spoke about how he's confident that the Congress High Command will take care of his future. He's made subtle references to his sacrifices and also how several within the party have constantly tried to scuttle his chances. And this yet again is another remark that the Deputy Chief Minister has made. In fact, CNN News 18's Afreen Hussain now joins us for more on this. Afreen, a crucial remark by the Deputy Chief Minister talking about betrayal, talking about stabbing from people very close to him.
Absolutely, Harish. Directly on illegal comment, Deputy Chief Minister has once again spoken about the leadership change. Speculation that refused to die up in Karnataka.
All right, looks like there's an issue with that connection. We'll try and fix it. But remember, this is a statement that the Deputy Chief Minister has made yesterday. Today, we've seen Mallikarjun Kharge, the AICC chief, when asked if both these leaders would be summoned to Delhi. He mentioned that if the High Command feels there's a requirement, this is a necessity, both of them are likely to be called to Delhi. That's the statement made by Mallikarjun Kharge earlier in the day. In fact, Mallikarjun Kharge, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and Deputy Chief Minister DK Shivakumar, all of them are sharing a stage at a government event sometime today, and it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. Even the Deputy Chief Minister had at least a half an hour long meeting with the AICC chief earlier in the day. The Deputy Chief Minister is likely to travel to Delhi sometime later this week for a meeting that is related to Assam elections, and sources close to the Deputy Chief Minister telling us that there could be a possibility that he would try for a meeting with the Congress High Command. Afreen, crucial developments there. The Deputy Chief Minister likely to travel to Delhi, and perhaps he would be trying for some appointment with the High Command leaders.
Well, absolutely, Harish. From what we learn, Deputy Chief Minister DK Shivakumar will be in Delhi on January 16th and January 22nd, is what we're getting to know. And by the way, he's spoken at the Vakaliga event and has asserted full confidence that his party will take care of his future. It is most likely that he'll try to get an appointment with the High Command to talk about the leadership change speculation in Karnataka and to get a final decision on this. Remember, this power tussle between the Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister has been going on for too long now. So it remains to be seen what exactly DK Shivakumar does. Will he try to get a meeting, and what exactly happens if he gets a meeting going forward in the political scenario in Karnataka is something that we really need to keep a watch on.
Absolutely. Thank you, Afreen, for joining us with all those details. We'll have to see how this pans out and if there will be a response from Siddaramaiah's camp. Shifting focus to what's happening with a fresh firestorm, political firestorm that's erupted in Mumbai ahead of the municipal election in the city. You had MNS chief Raj Thackeray taking a dig at BJP leader Annamalai, calling him Rasmalai from Tamil Nadu. In fact, Annamalai has now hit back, calling it an insult to all Tamilians and South India, and that he's not scared to come to Mumbai. In fact, BJP has gone out all guns blazing against the MNS chief and the India Alliance and has called the remarks hateful and obnoxious. The controversy stems from Annamalai's campaign speech, where he pitched for triple engine government for Mumbai and said that Mumbai is not just a Maharashtra city but an international city. Listening to what both these leaders said. In fact, remember, the first statement came in from BJP leader Annamalai, who said that Mumbai was not just a Maharashtra city and he called it an international city. There was a lot of backlash after that comment by Annamalai, and you also had a quick response which came in from an MNS chief, Raj Thackeray, who called Annamalai as Rasmalai from Tamil Nadu. Now the BJP going all guns blazing against the Congress and the India Alliance, saying that the comments were obnoxious and hateful in nature. In fact, Annamalai himself has now come out and said that this is an insult to all Tamilians and South Indians, and this also brings back memories of the targeting of the senior Thackeray. In fact, early 90 targeting of Tamilians and other South Indians by the Shiv Sena back then.
काल परवाकडे कोणतरी एक तामिळनाडू बंदर रसमलाई आली होती. तो सांगतो मुंबईचा आणि म्हणजे महाराष्ट्राचा संबंध काय, तुझाच काय संबंध आहे इथे याचा. यांच्यासाठीच माननीय बाळासाहेब बोलले होते, हटाव लुंगी आणि बजाव पुंगी. आता अनेक दाक्षिणात्य इथे राहत आहेत.
பத்தினி அவமானப்படுத்துறது எனக்கு ஒன்றும் புதுசு இல்லை. தமிழ்நாட்டில் டிஎம்கே அதைத்தான் காலங்காலமாக செய்கிறாங்க. ஆனால் தமிழர்களையே அவமானப்படுத்துகிறாங்க. இந்த லுங்கி கட்டினவனுங்க, வேட்டி கட்டினவனுங்க, இவனுங்களாம் இப்படி, இவனுங்களாம் அப்படி. அதே கூட்டணியில் திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகம் இங்கே இருக்கிறாங்க. இதுதான் ஆச்சரியம்.
In fact, there's a piece of breaking news that's coming in on this very story. Annamalai has now responded to this remark by Raj Thackeray, and Annamalai has now dared the Thackerays, saying that some have written that they will cut my legs. If I come to Mumbai, I will come to Mumbai, try cutting my legs. If I were afraid of such threats, I would have stayed in my village. That's the sharp response that's come in from BJP leader Annamalai, who's now said that he will indeed go to Mumbai and he's dead the Thackerays. CNN News 18's Purnima Murli now joins us for more on this. Purnima, in the early 90s, we've seen a very bitter relationship that the Shiv Sena had with the migrants from South, especially Tamil Nadu, and now these statements perhaps bringing back those memories.
Absolutely. In fact, this criticism has not gone down well with Annamalai and a section of the people of Tamil Nadu, where Annamalai said that this statement is not just an insult to me, but an insult of the entire people of Tamil Nadu. However, the DMK has now said that the Thackerays did not insult the people of Tamil Nadu. It was only an insult. It was only in response to what Annamalai said, and in fact said that Annamalai should not have made that statement. That was the word that came in from the DMK. However, Annamalai said that he's not scared of such threats. He's not intimidated. And if he were, then he wouldn't have entered politics. He would have settled in his village. And he says that he will go to Maharashtra and challenge the Thackerays to do whatever they want. But he said that he is not intimidated or scared of such threats. That's a response from Annamalai. However, the DMK comes out in support of the Thackerays and said that it's not an insult to the people of Tamil Nadu. And that hasn't gone down well with the BJP.
Absolutely. Thank you, Purnima, for joining us with all those details. In fact, with the maximum city heading in for a municipal election, we have seen some very sharp political reactions coming in on this controversy.
राज ठाकरे, उद्धव ठाकरे जो आज इंडी अलायंस के साथ भी है, वो कहते हैं कि अन्नामलाई रसमलाई है। मतलब कि तमिलनाडु से आने वाले एक व्यक्ति का इस प्रकार से मखौल और मजाक उड़ाते हैं, ओबीसी समाज का मजाक उड़ाते हैं, और केवल यही नहीं, पूरे दक्षिण भारत के लोगों का भी मखौल उड़ाते हुए, उनके प्रति हिंसा भड़काते हुए लुंगी इस प्रकार के शब्दों का इस्तेमाल भी करते हैं। ये उनकी मानसिकता को दिखाता है। जो इंडी अलायंस में उद्धव जी के साथ है और उद्धव जी राज ठाकरे के साथ है, ऐसे इंडी अलायंस के नेता, डीएमके के नेता क्या स्टैंड लेंगे? लेफ्ट के नेता क्या स्टैंड लेंगे इस बयान पर? चुप है, उनके मुंह पर गोंद लगी हुई है, वो कुछ नहीं बोलेंगे।
Another issue that's being spoken about is the Thakres versus Annamalai. Annamalai said Mumbai is a global city, and the Thakres had hit out at Annamalai, and they also made a reference to Lungi, and Annamalai says it's not an insult to Annamalai, but it's an insult to the people of Tamil Nadu.
No, he might have mentioned only Annamalai. Annamalai is a Lungi man, a Tamilian. Maybe that is what Thakre might have mentioned. But how can Annamalai say that Mumbai is part of Maharashtra, is the capital of Maharashtra? How can he say that it is a global city, it has no connection with Maharashtra?
Lungi reference, don't you think it's an insult to the entire...
No. Because it is for Annamalai's statement that Thakre had made this remark. So it is not for against Tamilians.
In fact, shifting focus to another poll-bound stage, this is Kerala, where Union Home Minister Amit Shah has now launched a sharp attack against the left government and the Congress-led UDF front, saying that both these parties go soft on radical elements in the state. In fact, the Union Minister has said that both these parties go soft on radical outfits like Jamaat-e-Islami and the PFI. Shah said that only the BJP can counter these groups, predicting his party will secure over 30% of vote share and form the next government in Kerala. The Union Home Minister also raked up Sabrimala gold theft issue, saying that Vijay government failed to save the gold of the temple. He also demanded a probe by neutral agency. Meanwhile, in a dramatic show of defiance, Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijay, joined by his cabinet, colleagues and MLAs and MPs, is staging a protest at the Martyrs Column in Thiruvananthapuram, accusing the union government of imposing an economic blockade on Kerala. The political battle lines in the state are now sharply drawn ahead of the elections.
शासन सबरीमाला के खजाने की रक्षा न कर पाए, वो हमारी आस्था को बचा सकता है क्या? केरल की मूल आस्था का संरक्षण अगर कोई कर सकता है तो केवल और केवल भारतीय जनता पार्टी कर सकती है। केरल के मुख्यमंत्री के सामने मांग करना चाहता हूं कि ये जांच को एक न्यूट्रल एजेंसी को आप स्वयं ही सौंप दें। मित्रों, जब तक न्यूट्रल एजेंसी जांच नहीं सौंपी जाएगी, भारतीय जनता पार्टी केरल के हर गांव में इसके लिए आंदोलन करेगी, जन जागृति का काम करेगी। एलडीएफ और यूडीएफ, पीएफआई, जमाते इस्लामी और अब बढ़ती हुई एसडीपीआई से केरल को सुरक्षित रख सकते हैं क्या? वो नहीं रख सकते।
अവർക്കങ്ങനെ സാധിക്കില്ല।
क्योंकि पीएफआई, एसडीपीआई और जमाते इस्लामी उनकी वोट बैंक है, वो उस पर कभी आघात नहीं करें।
11 years what? How much has the central government done for Kerala? We don't need lessons of administration. We don't need lessons of economic creation from the Home Minister. We have people from Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, Gujarat coming and seeking jobs here. Why? How many Karnataks you know are seeking jobs in these places? Everybody is coming here because we are creating the jobs. Highest IT returns we are filing, highest GST returns we are filing, without any help from the central government. So Home Minister, instead of giving us how to run economies and how to run our governments, he should probably look at why Bangladeshis are coming into India.
In fact, CNN News 18's Neetu Raghukumar now joins us for more on this. Neetu, on the one hand, the BJP intensifying its campaign, saying that they'll manage to get 30% of the vote share, while Pinarayi Vijay once again bringing the focus back on the economic blockade and the stepmotherly treatment by the union government. In fact, Neetu, if you can hear me, we've seen the Union Home Minister coming out there and the BJP intensifying its campaign and saying that they're targeting almost 30% of the vote share in the state. But the Chief Minister now bringing the focus back on economic blockade and also the stepmotherly treatment by the union government, something that the Kerala has constantly mentioned.
Yes, Harish, we are at this protest venue at Martyr Square here in Thiruvananthapuram, and behind me on the stage you can see that this is led by Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijay himself. He's sitting on the stage along with his cabinet colleagues. LDF MLAs and LDF MPs along with LDF workers are here at the protest here. Now they are raising out, they're trying to bring the focus back on the financial issues. The main issue that they are raising here is that there is a discrimination from the union government to the state when it comes to financial matters, when it is giving the state its due, whether it is related to the revenues, the borrowing capacity. So these are the issues that they have been raising. They're saying that the centre time and again has been trying to choke the state financially, and even when there are natural calamities like the Wayanad landslide or the 2018 floods, not enough resources was given to the state, and even during the floods when foreign aid was promised by other countries, especially the Gulf countries, the union government did not allow them to accept. Chief Minister, while speaking here, said that this is stepmotherly attitude, and especially to different states. He said that when Prime Minister Modi was the Gujarat Chief Minister, when there was an earthquake there, foreign help, foreign aid was sought from them. And at the same time said that for Kerala it was not allowed. But recently when Maharashtra had a national calamity, they had actually allowed Maharashtra to get this help. So they're saying that this is indeed a stepmotherly attitude only to states which are being ruled by parties other than the BJP. So this is what the LDF is trying to say, and we have to note that ahead of the assembly elections, all parties and all fronts have started their election campaign. The LDF trying to bring back the focus on financial issues and how they're stating that the union government is choking the state, and even for the rehabilitation of Wayanad landslide victims, how aid or help was not given. While speaking to us, MB Rajesh, the LSGD minister, has said that even without centre's help, we are having a township and that will be ready by February, which is actually Kerala's response to the centre. And while speaking at the stage here, the Chief Minister also said that whatever Amit Shah has said, his dreams will only remain as dreams, and in Kerala it will not be possible. So that is the stand that the LDF has been taking, and even the LDF ministers that we spoke to says that when asking about Home Minister Amit Shah said that for the security of the state and for the development BJP government is necessary. They have been raising that Kerala is a state which has not witnessed a communal riots or a communal tension in the past 10 years, even when many parts of the country had witnessed it. So that is what they are keeping as the alternative.
Right. In fact, Neetu, let's also quickly listen into what Minister MB Rajesh, who you spoke earlier in the day, told about the entire controversy and how the centre is treating the Kerala government.
Here is Minister MB Rajesh. Minister, what is this protest all about? What is the issue that you're raising?
This protest is a continuation of the protest which was held in Delhi 2 years back under the leadership of Honorable Chief Minister and with all ministers, MPs and MLAs joining. This is against central government's, union government's discrimination against Kerala. This discrimination is politically motivated. This is nothing but political vengeance against a government led by Left Democratic Front. The BJP government has drastically reduced grants to Kerala. They have reduced tax devolution.
Continuing his long tradition of